Good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to revise chapter 3 of statistics, that is census and sample methods of collection of data. So first of all, let's know the two important terms which are going to be used in this chapter. The first is population and the second is sample. Population or universe refers to the aggregate of items which are to be studied under investigation. It means all those items about which we want to collect the information in aggregation, these are termed as population or universe. Like for example, if we need to collect information about 2000 students of a school, then all those 2000 students in aggregation is termed as our population or universe. Second is sample. Sample is the group of items taken from the population for examination. Suppose from those 2000 students we are taking only 50 or 100 students and examination according to our purpose of investigation is done on that, then those particular group of 100 students is known as our sample. So now let's discuss the first method of collection of data, that is census method. Under this method, data are collected covering every item of the universe or population relating to the problem under investigation. This method is suitable when the population is of small size and the items in the population have diverse feature and there is a need of intensive examination of each and every item, and lastly when high degree of accuracy and reliability is required. Merits of census method are: it is a reliable and accurate information can be brought through this method. It is a less biased method. Extensive information can be get for each and every item. In this method we can study the diverse characteristics of every item and it is suitable for the study of complex investigation. The demerits of census methods are: it is very costly in terms of money as well as time. It needs large manpower if we have to cover a large area, and it is not suitable for the large investigation having longer duration of time period. Next method is census method. Under this method, data is collected about the sample on a group of items. Means we are not collecting data from each and every person in the population, but collecting data from only few persons of the samples, and conclusions are drawn on the basis of their examination. This method is suitable where population size is very large. We cannot go to each and every unit, so we have to select few persons to be as our samples. Also, we can use this data where high degree of accuracy is not required. There is no need of intensive examination of different features of the items, and different items of the universe are of homogeneous features, means they are similar to one another. Merits of sample method is: it is economical as it is not costly. It saves times also. Error can be identified because in the second time for identification of error we can choose another few samples, another person as samples which were earlier chosen from them. Large investigations can be possible through this method, and it is also convenient for the administration to use this method, and it is more scientific, this census method, because some steps, some methods are being followed under sampling. The demerits of sample methods are: partiality can be done here, biasness by the investigator can be done here, wrong conclusions can be here, because if some important items are left then obviously the conclusion drawn will be wrong. It is also very difficult to choose that which particular unit can be our sample, and moreover we do not know, or there we can face the difficulty of framing a sample, means the qualities of samples will not be clear to us. Also this method needs specialized knowledge to be implemented. There is a comparison given between census and sample method. So let's talk about the first basis of comparison, that is coverage. Census method covers all the items of the population, whereas sample method covers only some items of the population. Census method is suitable when area of investigation is small, whereas sample method is suitable when area of investigation is large. Under census method there is greater degree of accuracy of data, whereas under sample method the accuracy level is very less. Census method is more costly, whereas sample method is less costly. Next is census method covers more time or consumes more time, whereas sample method consumes less time. Census method is useful when the items of the population have different features, whereas sample method is suitable only when the features of all the items are similar or homogeneous items are there. Census method verification is not at all possible, but sample method verification is possible. Under sampling, we use various methods like random sampling, purposive sampling, mixed or stratified sampling, systematic sampling, quota sampling, and convenience sampling. We'll discuss these methods one by one. The first is random sampling. Random sampling is that method of sampling in which each and every item of the universe has equal chance of being selected as a sample. It may be done in two ways. The first method is lottery method, wherein paper slips are made for each items of the universe and shuffled in a box. Then impartially some of the slips are drawn to form a sample of the universe. So here probability of each and every item is equal to be selected as a sample. Next is tables of random numbers. Some statisticians have prepared a set of tables called tables of random numbers. A sample is framed with reference to these tables. Of all these tables, Tippett's table is most widely used, which is framed by the statistician Tippett. The merits and demerits of random sampling are, first of all, let's discuss its merit. It is free from personal biasness of the investigator. Every items get equal chance of being selected, and it's a very simple method. The demerits of this method is, it does not give weightage to certain important items of the universe, and it is not useful if all the items have different. Next method is purposive or deliberate sampling. In this method of sampling, the investigator himself makes the choice of sample items which in his opinion are best representative of the universe. So here each and every item does not get an equal chance of being selected as a sample, because here investigator himself chooses the sample taking into consideration the purpose of investigation. Its merits are, it allows inclusion of important items, it matches with the purpose of investigation, and it's a simple technique. And its demerits are, possibility of biasness in selecting sample is there, and doubtful results because of the biasness of investigator, and it is not reliable at all. Next is stratified or mixed sampling. Under this method, population is divided into different stratas or groups having different features. Then some of the items are selected from each group so that entire population get represented. It is called mixed sampling because the division of population is done according to the purpose and samples are chosen randomly. So it is a mixture of purposive as well as random sampling. Its merits are, it covers different features, comparison is possible here, and the results are reliable and meaningful. Its demerit is that it is not useful when size of population is very small, because we cannot divide the population into groups here. Next is systematic sampling. Under this method, the items of universe are numerically, geographically or alphabetically arranged. Then first sample item will be selected on random basis, and after that every nth item from that first numbered item is selected as a sample. Like for example, first of all we arrange the items according to their roll number. Then at random we select the fifth roll number as our first sample. Then every 10th student after that roll number 5th will be our sample, and we have to choose 3 samples. Then the 3 samples will be 5, then 15th, then 25th. Merits of this method is it's a very simple method, and there is hardly any possibility of personal biasness. Demerits are, every item does not get equal chance of being selected here, and if all the items in the population are homogeneous, then this method serves no specific purpose. Next method is quota sampling. In this method, population is divided into groups according to different features. Then some percentage of different groups in total is fixed. Like for example, out of the total population, we have to make groups including 20% of the items. Then 5 groups will be formed. And then some quota of the items to be selected as sample items are fixed for each group. Then we'll select that out of each group, we'll select 2 or 20 to 10% as our samples. Then from each items we'll collect 2 students. Merits are, it's not a very expensive method, suitable when population have diverse items, and its demerit is that biasness of investigator is possible at the time of selection of items as sample by the investigator. The last method of sampling is convenience sampling. In this method, sampling is done by investigator in such a manner that suits his convenience. Like for example, by sitting merely in an office, if he have to do a study about the teachers in a school, then he can merely look at the list of the teachers and select any 10 or 15 teachers from that list without thinking about the purpose of investigation. Its merit is, it is very simple and least expensive method, but it is an unscientific and unreliable method as the purpose is ignored in this sampling. The last topic of the chapter is statistical errors. These are the errors which occur during the statistical study, and these errors can be of 2 types, either sampling errors or non-sampling errors. Sampling errors are related with the size or nature of sample selected for the study. These may arise because of very small size of sample selected, or the selected samples are not representing the entire universe. The non-sampling errors are related with the collection of data, and it may be related with the error of measurement or error of non-response, as some of the items may not respond to the investigation, or the error of misinterpretation, means the information is interpreted wrongly by the investigator. Fourth is error of arithmetical or calculation, means when we have done some error in calculation or analysis. And last is sampling biasness, means the error arises due to the biasness of investigator. So this is all in this chapter. Any problem, any doubt, then please ask. Thank you so much.